Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Donald Tang, and I'm this afternoon's panel moderator. Today's topic is one of the most talked about issue at the dinner tables and media all across America. It is a fascinating topic. The promise of globalization is to bring wealth and prosperity to all people all around the world. That promise is coming true. Since the end of the Second World War, the United States had led the world in the globalization effort and has been the world's role model for capitalism, which so many others are copying and emulating. I often wondered and pondered as I'm traveling around the world in many different countries, and why is that? To me, it's simply because we, America, have the best business model. We uphold the free market principle. This model stressed the creation of the level playing field for all market participants, emphasizing the rule of law, transparency, objectivity, liquidity, and create regulations which protects the best interests of all market participants. Doesn't matter wherever you're from. As the globalization succeeds, the point of the globalization as a concept is bring all wealth to all people around the world. As the globalization succeeds, it does not just create wealth for the people in this room, in this country. It creates wealth for everybody around the world. Never before has so much wealth had been created in such a short period of time outside of the United States. That is the result of truly successful globalization movement. Countries from Asia, from Middle East, Scandinavia, all over, remarkable amount of wealth has been created in such a short period of time. And that, to put things into perspective, the economists, they estimate by 2011, there will be $12 trillion will be controlled by more than 2 dozens of SWF, of more than 2 dozen countries. And to just put things into comparison, that the hedge fund guys that we're talking about all the time here in the United States, all of the money they control globally is about 1.8 trillion. Now, $12 trillion is a lot of money. And $12 trillion will be concentrated in very few hands. The heavy concentration of wealth power itself is causing fear and anxiety for many. The concentration of wealth power, this particular concentration is causing many people in our country to think not only this is a challenge to our national economy, this might be a challenge to our national security. Here in our country, now the challenge is how can we uphold free market principle, which had worked so well for us in the past, and still protect the national economy while the balance of economic power is quietly shifting. Of course, we can take comfort by reflecting that we, the United States, have never shied away from past challenges. After all, this is the land of free, land of opportunity, where rule of law for all always prevails. The challenge facing us now is finding ways to objectively and realistically create new policy and new rules for dealing with sovereign wealth funds, the surge of its size, to allow us to benefit from this new source of capital while never, ever compromising our national security. The creation of the Chinese Sovereign Wealth Fund, the China Investment Corp, in my view, should indeed be viewed as a historic opportunity. After all, China is the world's largest foreign currency reserve country, and the most of those foreign currency reserves are in US dollars. That essentially is making China the largest US dollar asset holder in the world. That essentially is making China have the vested interest in the success of our very own economy. If we approach China's SWF in a careful and thoughtful manner, then China will get its return on their investment in our land of opportunity. We will have access to this large source of capital, and that will be a win-win scenario for us, in my opinion. If, on the other hand, if it's due to any misunderstanding or lack of understanding, we, United States, single out China as a special case and raise the investment costs for China unreasonably, then we will slowly but surely lose access to this source of capital. Then China will lose a great opportunity to seek return in the greatest economy in the world. And this will indeed be a lose-lose situation. And anything in between, a win-lose situation, will not be sustainable long-term. Today, we indeed live in an age of interdependence. Like it or not, we're joined at the hip. Today, we're so fortunate to have with us 4 experts on the topic of SWF to join us to help us to understand the opportunities and challenges surrounding this very important topic, sovereign wealth funds. And before I do that, I would like to introduce the sponsor of today's panel, Mr. Perry Wilder, a managing director from Citibank, Citi Private Bank, to give us a few words of his wisdom.